Hi friends, it's Sarah from Ruffles and Rain Boots here with a brand new pattern for 4th of July. This guy is perfect for carrying something. If you'd like to make him with me, just boop, stick around. As always, like this video so I know you're here crafting with me. Now listen, I am so excited. This is a 6 to 7 inch gnome and he is part of the brand new Icelandic Lovey pattern. You are looking at a few of the ones I've made so far, but I'm saving the best ones. This pattern includes multiple hats, even a reversible hat, arms, body, and even the cutest little shoes ever. Aren't they cute? Boopable noses. Okay, to get started, we're going to be using Mongolian fur. I'm also going to be using clay for the hands and the nose. I used a fleece in a star pattern for the hat and a minky fleece for the body in red. Now the pattern will be below. It has a sew and a no sew version. This is going to be showing you the no sew version. Sewing will be coming next. So I'm going to first hem this fabric on the bottom. All of these minky fleeces are amazing to work with, but you know, they kind of shed if you don't hem them. So I'm just going to quickly do this on the bottom of the hat only. Once I have that done, I'm going to put right sides together. Now, the one thing about this, do line up. All of those little bumpies matter. Just follow the edge of your pattern, because it's with the way it slips on is super cool. I'm not gonna say I failed on previous versions, but y'all, this is a fun pattern. Okay, so all we're gonna do is put on those hot glue finger protectors and make sure we get all the way to the tippy top. Once that glue is dry, we're just going to flip it out. You can use a bamboo skewer or something if you need it for the tip. Now for the bottom, or the body, you have two pieces. You're going to follow the pattern on assembling the larger piece. For the base piece, you're going to attach it just like we do everything else. However, I'm going to show you the dart system here. If you're sewing, this is all done on the inside. If you're using hot glue, this is for you. So you're going to pay attention on, like putting on your base is like normal, right? But what I did is I drew those darts. See these two triangles? I put those perpendicular to the seam, and then all I do is gather so that the sides of the triangles touch, and then I'm going to hot glue that. So you pinch your finger at the very base of where the triangle is, and then you put hot glue all along that edge from the base piece on that seam all the way to the tip of the triangle, and then you just glue it and then press that seam together so it has a nice wide join, and then any hot glue that comes out you just snip off. So I'm going to show you again here. I'm going to start it right at the edge of that triangle and put glue all the way to the base edge and then press those two together, and then any hot glue you can just snip off like this. Easy peasy. Before you move on, do pull and yank and make sure that everything is there. Also make sure you can see right there, it doesn't go all the way to the edge of the base seam, and I do want that. So when I move it around again, I'm going to show you these two darts are perpendicular to the back seam. Okay, so you don't have to draw them on your fabric. I just drew them to make sure you could see what I was doing, because this red fabric, you can't see anything. So you'll see here, all I did was just turn it inside out, use the tip of a skewer, and then when I start to, you can't see anything, right? So I just figured I'd show you in white. As always, I fill with poly beads, which are non-absorbing for odor and moisture, and they don't attract pests. They give it a good bit of weight. It's what's used in stuffed animals. For the stuffing for the rest of the body, and by the way, you need no wire, nothing else. So for the rest of the body, we're going to use polyfill. And we're just going to stuff it and even push some into the very tip of the hat with the skewer or your finger, because this is the base of our hat as well. So we want to make sure that's nice and fluffed up. I get a lot of questions on when you know to stop stuffing. If it bounces back when you squeeze it, it's full enough. Get those hot glue finger guards, and you're going to tuck the fabric in on itself, add a line of hot glue, press it together to create a nice wide join. And if you have any glue that escapes, you can snip that off with your scissors after it dries. So I'm just going to speed this part up and go all the way down. Oops, there we go. Go all the way down. I just tucked that glue right back inside. All right, pulling off any of those pieces of hot glue, our body is ready. As I mentioned, I'm using a 3-inch pile of faux fur. I'm going to cut it 4 inches wide by 3 inches tall in sort of this shape here. I don't do it all the way to a point. For this guy, I don't think you need it. It's a waste. So what we're going to do is we're going to line it up so that the beard touches where you want it to on the floor. Mine was actually that it touched the table. And then on the front side of the gnome, meaning not the bumpy part in the back, we're going to attach just the top, brush it out, get everything you like it, and then go ahead and glue everything down. I also decided to add a very teeny tiny mustache for this guy, and all I did instead of notching it was just fold it over on itself and then split it by pulling the fur away from the center on either side. As I mentioned, I'm using a clay round for a nose, so I need to get an idea of where to place it. So I just slip on the hat, get an idea for the nose, and then I'm going to split the faux fur, not there because that's not the middle. There you go. Split the faux fur to the fabric backing, add hot glue, and give the most intense nose boop, boop, until that sets up and goes up around the sides. To attach the mustache, I just put the glue on that join in the center and then glue it directly to the nose. I'm going to slip on the hat and push it all, or pull it all the way down so the body and the hat tips align, and then I'm going to glue down the front of the nose. Now this part depends on whether you're using the adorable feet or the arms. So first, just tack this thing down in a couple of places. Don't like glue it all the way around. The back will always get tacked down, but the size is going to vary depending on which one you're using. So I'm just tacking it down in a couple places before I move on to the arms. So these are just included in the pattern, and I'm using this minky fabric, which means I have to do right sides together on this and then flip them out. And you can use wire, you can use stuffing only, like you've got all of the gnome options for your arms. But I figured since I was making such a big thing on the back, I'm actually just going to cut one arm in half to place them lower on the body. So here you can see I'm just going to cut my wire in half, make sure to bend off your edges, and then I'm going to glue that wire inside, just at the top, the part that's going to be hidden under the hat. I want that not to move, so I do add glue. So I'm going to press that up under. I'm going to glue the arm to the hat and then the arm to the body. And then I'm going to do the other side, just making sure I'm getting them even. Now, before I move on, I need to make sure I know how big my rocket is going to be. So I just decided to use this. It's sort of fabric, it's sort of foam, it's these glitter sheets. You can get them at the craft store. I just basically cut a circle and then a notch out of a pie shape. I want pie. And then when you fold this over, it's going to give you a nice cool rocket top. But I decided because I could still see the white, I needed to hem this. And here's the thing. When you're looking at this a month or two later, or however long ago I did this, I could have just used a red marker and covered up that white edge instead of doing this. But, you do you. Hindsight being 20/20 in my crafting, this is what I did. So now I'm going to use a piece of my daughter's foam craft foam sheets, and I'm just going to cut rectangles so that I can make a tube. Then I'm going to cut this edge off as close as I can get it, and then I'm going to assemble a firecracker. So to do that, I'm just taking that top, gluing the two edges together, and then gluing it to the top of my foam. For the rockety stuff, I'm just using a foam piece cut that's just smaller than the tube so that I can stick it in with all of these cool curly ribbons attached. And you're just going to hot glue it right up in there. It's so festive. All right, so I'm going to put on my little clay hands. You can use pom-poms, you can use wood beads, wood rounds, anything you like. And then I'm going to attach this rocket with string. And the reason I'm doing that is because this year my daughter chose a rocket. Next year, I don't know what she's going to choose. So I didn't want to glue this to the hat. So I'm just adding these, embroidery threads or whatever in two areas, and I'm going to put it on the back and tie those around his little hands, just like this. And then I just tuck those little ties down. And before I reveal him, I just want to remind you of all the cuties that you can get in the pattern, with so many more to come. Get the pattern link below, but here he is in all his fireworks glory. Let me know in the comment section, what do you think of this? As always, Thank you for being here. Please like and subscribe for more crafty fun.